Do you have any questions? So if you have any questions, feel free to type in on the chat section or raise your hand. Okay? Now let's talk about the correlation among digital communication and business objectives, which means what the digital um, and social media can play some roles in each stages. For instance, awareness, of course, the you can increase and you want to reach the awareness. And in consider stages, you might want to engage and interact with your consumers. And purchases stages, you want to drive the conversion, you want to make people to make their final decisions. And in the loyalty stages, you want to drive advocacy, which means, as I think it's pretty, I think I already gone through the similar things in previous slides, that you want, you did a lot of, you put effort, you spend your money to launch successful campaign. And in loyalty stages, you want your loyal customers to be the ambassador, even if they are not get paid. You want them to share good reviews and experiences, pictures and videos, etc. So that's what you really expected in that stages. For instance, you sometimes see that people upload some haul videos or review videos on the YouTube or Instagram, right? Maybe some are get paid if they have, if you see that the the message like paid sponsorship or the hashtag that said ads or review videos on the YouTube or Instagram, actual the or get paid if they have, if you see that the message like paid sponsorship. They sometimes upload some demo videos, reviews, how to videos, etc. Even if they are not getting really paid. So that's what you can achieve and you can do with the digital and social media. Then why use these channels? Then why should we consider using digital and social media? I mean, I think we already talked about this at the beginning of this today's lecture, but let's think about why should we use digital and social media? Any idea? Other than just saying because everybody is using digital media and social media. Why should we use those channels? You'll be asked to do the idea pitching with the digital and social strategies. Then why do you think your clients need to use digital and social media before we discuss about the specific platforms? Why the brands should use digital and social media for their campaign? To increase brand awareness. Yes, that's true. What else? Yes. I mean, do not afraid to answer the questions. It's always That's
If you
true.
have the right answers, that's good. If
What
you
else?
have incorrect answers, that's also good because you know that now you now know that that's wrong answer and can get the correct answers, right? The important thing is you learned, you got the correct answers, and we have time to discuss about the subject. That's the important thing. You don't really need to feel humiliated or worry about if someone criticize or judge me or anything. That's not what we are doing in these classes. Just trying to throw things off the some whatever that things like pops up on your mind or pops on your head. Why we use the digital and social media? Why? Why we spend money on it? Why should we consider to use those platforms to launch our campaigns? Any idea? Okay. Also include lead and sales. Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much for the answering the questions. That's actually placed on the first place as the first thing on the slide, right? So increase sales revenue, increase website traffic. You know, you can make people to go to your website. You know, sometimes there's some you need to people only can purchase your product from your website, then you should bring them to your website, right? So they sometimes you see that from the Instagram story ad or on the other social media ad, you need to click it, then you will be automatically forwarded to their official website, which can increase the website traffic and increase the sales at the same time. Improve the lead quality. You know, you need to make people to consider your product and then make a purchase decisions. And you know, the digital and social media can do more personalized targeting things, so the lead quality will be the better compared to the traditional media. And of course, you can improve the brand awareness. You can reach to many people through the digital and social media, and automated more process, which means, you know, if you launch the your ad through the Google or any other social media, then you just need to, I mean, it's still complicated, but you just need to put the numbers and the campaign, the it could be the videos or pictures you want to launch it, the taglines, content, and you can set the time and day and lead amount, or sometimes you can just put your budget and then ask um, the Google ad or the Facebook ad optimizer and they say like just run the ad based on with higher efficiency based on your judgment or something, like because you know they have the algorithms and all the data, and they have some idea, the AI always have some idea like how what will be the best or efficient way to run the ad. So I mean you can do the manual, or you can just put the or link to your card or put the money on it and ask them to like optimize all the settings and run the ad for me, etc., rather than you just contact the broadcasting stations or the company who are doing the ad planning and said, I just want to put this ad on 8 a.m. and that ad on 9:30 or something. So it's more automated process and obtain object advocate adequate budgets and customer equations. You know, same things
it's more cost effective, and your customers can be also do the spread the word and do the ad for you, even if you didn't really ask for. So these are the reason why we should consider social media and digital media, not just because things are going digital and social media, and not just because everybody's doing it. I mean, if everybody's doing it, then we should do it, of course. But there are some specific reasons why you should consider and use those channels. Then let's take a look at some digital channels you can consider. Maybe we already talked about different channels and social media platforms and different ad tactics, but in addition to that, we can take a look at some other more like digital channels here. So electronic direct mail, you might receive hundreds of the electronic direct email from any, what is that? The brands or companies, right? So the electronic direct mail is highly valuable and effective direct, and it will target people specifically, build it can based on and build based on the you have it, or sometimes the company, if they have the customer base, or if they don't have customer, if don't have any customers, then you can buy the list from the company. There are some companies sell the people's mailing list. Or if you don't want to be considered as like spam or phishing mail, then you can feature it on others, which means, let's say, how can I say? the subject line wanted to make people to curious about what's in there. Sometimes they just directly present like whatever they have in the context. Because it's sometimes more like straightforward, right? With sales, so why don't you come and visit our stores? And this is like electronic catalog. They had new graphic tees, so they just send out the picture of the new designs. So it work as electronic catalog. So I can take a look at it, and if I liked it, then I can click it, and then it all will be automatically forwarded to their official website, so I can purchase something that I want to buy, right? And another tactic I want to mention here is you can see that the first two email exclusively call my name. They put my name on the subject line because they know my name, right? So make me feel like more it's like personalized email, even if that has been sent to hundreds, thousands of other people. So this is like very basic tactics they usually use it. Call the customer's name on the subject line, so make the consumers feel more comfortable and feel more close with their brand. Then how the electronic direct mail works. I think we already talked about this. They can buy the list from the companies or brokers. They can do the partnerships and purchase for the distributions, which means they can work with other companies, or they can pay for the company who can spread the email for you, etc. Or you can send your own email through your system. So like you received email from the RMIT. I mean, they already have your list because they are the one that created the email orders for you. So they literally have the list. So if something happened, like 2 weeks ago, the Hanoi campus was closed due to the weather condition, then they immediately send out email to everyone in their list, which will be the staff and students works and study in the Hanoi campuses, and said due to the weather condition, our campus will be closed today, and stay tuned for the further updates, etc. So they already had the list, so they can just send out all the emails by their own. And mobile, you can work on the responsive site, landing pages, which means we assess and try to visit website and social media with different digital devices, smart devices, right? Like we sometimes visit any social media or website with your laptop, with your tablet PC, or with your smartphone. And all the smartphone, tablet PC, and laptop has different screen sizes. You make sure that things are really optimized well. And applications too, you need to make sure that the applications works well with any kind of digital devices. And online to offline experiences. So O2O is about you want to provide some inclusive and cohesive experiences that you might want to bridge the gap between the digital and offline stores. For instance, you order something online and pick up at the store, or you receive the coupon or receive the QR code from their social media, e-commerce, or official websites, but you need to visit the offline stores to redeem the coupons, etc. Because they want the brands want to bridge the gap between the digital and the offline and digital world. So there are some tactics has been that you do something online, but to grab something or pick up or to use it, you need to actually visit the actual stores. Can you give me any examples of the online to offline based on this explanation? Does anyone have any examples that pops on your head? You do something online, but actually take some action in offline to finish your purchases or to grab your product or to have these services. So let me give you one example. Like Starbucks, you will have a like options like place and pick up order at the store, right? So you just place all on the order through the mobile app and choose the places, the stores you like to go to pick up. So you place mobile order and then but you need to go to the store to pick up your order to get your drink, right? So that can be the example. Does anyone have any like other examples? So anything that could be example of the online to offline experiences? So place the mobile order and pick up at the store can be the example of the online to offline. And what else? I mean, it could be about the specific services or you can share your own experiences. Either one is fine.
Knock knock! Vengeance calling!
Okay, another example could be you received a digital coupon from their social media or online website, but you need to visit their offline store to redeem it. That could be the example of the online to offline experiences. And placed order from the what is the Grab Food or Gojek Food, but for the place order for the pickup rather than the delivery, or I mean the delivery, yeah. Like you place orders in somewhere else, but need to visit there to to finish your purchase like journeys and get some promotions online, but had to go to the actual stores to redeem it.
Those kind of are the examples of the online to offline experiences. And some other different mobile executions, we already watched some examples of how the AR works, AR and VR works with the mobile and social media, that they can detect your faces. So if they ask you to drink the Coke in 5 seconds or something, and then if you did it, then you got the promotion code, etc. So these days, a lot of applications trying to provide some immersive experiences using the AR and VR. And of course, in-app advertising and mobile advertising. When you're reading something, searching something, usually you sometimes see that some ad pops up and you can close it right away, or you need to wait 5 or 10 seconds to close it, etc. So those kind of in-app and mobile advertising can be different mobile executions. Then what will be the mobile benefits? What will be the benefits you can get by using mobile? So hyperlocation, data accessibility, personalized online to offline. If you're using or access some website or e-commerce or social media with your phone, they know that where you are, and then they can get all the data, like what kind of keyword you using, which website you visited, which social media you visited, and what content you really engage and interact with, etc. So they can personalize all the messages and advertisement. I think we already talked about this. And online to offline, we just talked about it in previous slide. And interact with any form of advertising. It can be static, it could be video, it could be flash, or it could be active gaming formats of the advertising. It could be AR and VR that can provide some immersive experiences. Evolving technology. There's some it's the AR and VR can be still the examples. Things getting smart, so you can provide better experiences based on all the data. But remember that like every channel, it needs to have a purposes. Don't just do or be mobile just speakers. Make sure that intent is validated. So I think we already talked about this, that we need to think about why should we use certain platforms and channels, and what will be the benefits we expect by using these particular channels or platforms. So we should have clear idea what kind of benefits we really expect and what's the purposes and objectives we want to achieve through these particular platforms channels, so you can tell your clients that this is what we really expect by launching our campaign in this media and platform. So you want you to consider to invest your money on this. So you need to be clear that the purposes, objectives you want to achieve it, and the benefits you really expect from each platforms and channels. So you can work on the media channels. You cannot just you cannot just say, I want to use it just because everybody's doing it, or because everybody's using the mobile phone and social media. You need to go beyond that. You need to have very specific benefits and purposes and objectives you want to achieve it when you're doing the idea pitching and when you're working on the media planning. So before we move to the next session, let's take a 5-minute quick break. So it's 9:16, so please come back till 9:21.
every step a new journey.
For Targon.
I may be merciful, but Targon isn't.
Are all Southerners so weak?
Okay, let's move to the second part of today's lecture, the digital advertising formats. So there might be like three big categories: the video, social, and display. So the video ads, literally the things appear on the digital environment like YouTube, or some audio video environment on website, or in applications across all the devices, like again the PC, laptop, mobile, tablet, PC, smart TV, etc. So you might be familiar with the in-stream video ad. You know, it's sometimes placed before the actual video started, or mid of the video, or at the end of the video. So it's called as pre-roll, mid-roll, and end-roll, which means literally before, mid, and end of the video. And there's sometimes 5 or 6 seconds skippable video, or it's like the skippable video is like 15 seconds to 1 minute or something. And non-skippable ad is like max, I think 5 or 6 seconds, so you don't have the close button, but it will just automatically close it after a few seconds. And skippable button also, you need to watch it at least a few seconds, and then you will count it down. Like you can skip the video in 5 seconds, and 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you will see the skip button. Then you just need to click it. So you anyways need to watch it for a few seconds. And it can appear on the video environment. You know, we already watched the examples in-game ads, then how you interact with the in-game ad and how that pops up, like whenever you need the coins and lives, etc. So now you can also consider some in-feed ad, in-article ad, or the native ad on the YouTube. So these are the out-stream video ads that these are the cutoff when you are in other platforms other than video. For instance, when you are consuming text, surfing website, playing games, like these are the out-stream videos are not from the like video platforms like YouTube. You sometimes see the short video ad while you are reading online newspaper, magazine, or while you are browsing some websites, etc. Right? So you sometimes or sometimes not have the sound, and you sometimes automatically play even if you didn't really click it. You just scrolling down and then the ad pops up and then it automatically plays, or sometimes it does not really play until you click it. So these are the examples of the video platforms and social platforms. We have like all different types of the social media advertisements are available on each platform. You know, we talked about several different ad types on the Facebook and Instagram, and you know there are some other ad formats on the TikTok too. So the social media is not only used for the social interactions, but it can be greatly used by marketers for the marketing purposes. You know, we use the social media with different purposes. And the most popular formats, some static video ads, messenger ad, you know, the Zaglos send out the ad, or even if I'm not friends with official account, they just sometimes send out some sponsored messages. And Instagram or Facebook story ad, casserole ad, collection ad. The casserole ad and the collection ad, you might or might not familiar with it, so we can watch the video together. So it shows multiple images or videos in a single unit and work as a catalog. It usually have more than two, and it asks you to take some actions. In collection ads, so they have like cover images or the like videos here. Then you will have some other photos underneath it, like about the product. Then if you clicked it, then you will be like automatically and immediately connected to the store. But you don't really need to leave the Facebook, because you will it can be opened with a Facebook ad. So the collection ads are only available with the social media with the Meta, which means it's only available with the Facebook and Instagram. And display platforms. So we already talked about the display and banner ad. It could be text, image, flash, animations. It can be placed on the top, middle, it could be placed on the both side or either size, or within the different sizes. It can appear on the website or the applications. So again, it can be static, it can be animated, or it can be interactive. It will ask you to click here and there or find something in the ad, or it could be banner with the video on YouTube, or sometimes the little banner pops up in the image while you're working or reading the articles, etc. So we already talked about those kind of things. And digital retargeting and display retargeting. So you might have an experience that you visited certain brand website or social media, and then after that you see the ad from these brands over and over again. That happens because they knew that you actually visited their website, but you didn't take any action other than visiting your website. So they just want you to visit your website or social media again and engage with your content or make a purchase decisions. Does anyone have those kind of experiences? Like you just visited any website or searched something but didn't purchase anything and then left, and then after a few minutes, days, or hours, the sponsored ads about the brands or the website you visited keep showing up on everywhere, like whenever you read the newspaper, online newspaper, or on the social media story ads, any sponsored ads or messages popped up while you're browsing something online. Anyone? Then let me share my experiences. You know, for the first assessment, I also wanted to see how the brands use their social media. So I visited the Paula's Choices and Kills and everywhere. But, I just visit there to see what they're doing. But they knew that I visited their social media and brand website, but did not take any actions. And right after that, my newsfeed for the Facebook and Instagram is covered with Paula's Choice and Kills. Like you can see that it's all sponsored messages and sponsored ads. They appear on my newsfeed, story, Instagram story, and Instagram feed, etc. Because they collected all the data, they know where I am, they know that I visited their website but didn't buy anything, so they just want to keep sending me the promotion messages, especially about the deals they will have it with e-commerce websites or applications for today, like August 8th, sometimes August 8th to August 10th, etc. So, I mean, also if wherever I visited, like any other websites, it always show me all the display ad and banner ad about those the brands has been chosen for the assessment one. So that was the example of the display retargeting. How display works, well, you need to consider the CPM, CPC, and the CPA. We already talked about this before, so I'm not gonna go over much details because you can find it from the previous lectures. And the search, I think we already talked about these too, that search provides a bridge that connects your online and offline efforts and seamlessly moves consumers online to engage with your online initiatives. So you might remember the dehumidifier examples. So when I put the dehumidifier as a keyword, then there's some brands pops on the very top side here. And I said that's the brands that pay for that to placed on the very top side. So it shows the prices, brand name, pictures, reviews. So it can help people to see all the available products rather than visiting each of their brand website. So that was where the search engine marketing result of the search engine marketing placed on the very top side of the search result pages. So if you click that, then the brand will be paid. And you can turn that on and off if you if you want to run the ad or not. And then, as I said, it's based on the bidding, and then we'll talk about the bidding process later.
I must make it count.
And SEM is like organic and natural search result, which will be appear and happen right next to and below the results of the SEM. So search engine the result of search engine optimization, the SEO is not you can do by paying something. So it's on the media. So you need to make sure that if it takes really time to get appear on the first page and appear to be on the very first one as a search result. So again, SEO is owned media, it's not paid media. You need to do a lot of work to appear on the first page and to be placed on the top places. You need to work on the keywords on your website. You need to make sure that your page is visible across the devices. All the links works well, and then you may have good numbers of the sharing, like which means people share your URL to their social media or send it out to your through the messengers. I mean, Google is watching everything, so they knew that how people interact with your website. So there's a lot of things you need to consider because nobody really knows what's exactly behind Google's algorithm. So again, the SEO is natural and organic results, certain results that you cannot do anything by paying something. It's on the media and takes time to have a better results. And when you are working on the media planning, not only for the second assessment, but also for our final result, final assessment, you might want to get some the data and do some research with those websites and platforms. It will give you a lot of information about how consumers interact with it, their engagement rate, popularity, like all the online and digital related information will be available.
My finest works.
Do you have any questions about today's lecture before we talk about the tutorial exercises and assessment 2? No? Okay, then let's talk about the tutorial. Not this one. Tutorial exercises. So please ignore the titles here. It was for the last week, but just focus on the details here. So it's also due today, and it's group work. So when I email you through the Canvas, one of your group members need to send your work by replying my email. So I think everybody familiar with it, that if you reply through the Outlook, it will not show me the attachment. So make sure that you reply via the Canvas. And CC your group members when you send me your work, and make sure that you put your name and S number on the file name. And any work without proper citation and references will not be reviewed, and any work received after deadline or not following the instructions will not review. So this week I will send out a case study, so I want you to read it and answer the questions. So in this case study, the coffee house, they wanted to reach a mass audiences rather than targeting specific group. But for this exercise, let's assume that we are targeting the millennials, Gen Y, because it will be easier for you to choose which media platform you want to work at. So the question here is, if you are a media planner at that point, I mean, it's already happened a few years ago, what digital and social media platforms and strategies would you recommend to your client, and why?
There will be peace in the Freljord.
So you need the first thing you need to do is read the case study, and at that point the campaign was targeting like mass people. They didn't really have the specific target audiences because their purpose was like they just wanted to reach too many people. But for these exercises, let's say we are targeting the millennials, we are specifically targeting millennials, then if you were the media planner at that point, what digital and social media platforms and strategies would you recommend to your client, and why? So your answer should be based on the research, especially about their media related behavior. And it should be based on the objectives they want to achieve and the target audiences they're focusing on. So you will find the objectives from the case studies. So it's already there. So what you need to do is to based on the audience, the objectives your client want to achieve and who your target audiences are, which digital and social media platforms and strategies you'd like to recommend, and provide reason why based on the research. You don't have to create a whole media plan, but just suggest 2 or 3 platforms or strategies you'd like to recommend for this campaign, and that's it. It's not about you have a whole plan for the awareness stages and conversions or whatever. I don't really expect you to do that. But just choose 2 to 3 platforms and strategies you want to recommend and provide the reason why. So this is a quite similar to assessment 2, but much simpler versions. I just want to do the little exercises before you working on the assessment 2. So I will send out the case study and the instructions right after the lecture. And let's talk about the assessment 2. It's due week 8, Friday, 5 p.m. So make sure that you check the deadlines. So it will be about the 5-minute idea pitching video. So you need to record the video. So when you submit your work, you need to submit just 1 word or PDF file that contains cover page, your YouTube video URL, and then references. So do not
Are all
upload direct
so
video link. You know, on the cover pages, you put your all the information and put the statement like whether you will allow RMIT to use your work as a sample or not. And then underneath it, you need to put the YouTube URL and then references. So you just need to put everything on one file and then submit it. Don't upload direct link. If you upload the direct link on the Canvas, then there's no way that you can put the reference files, and you know the work without references will not get any marks. So make sure that you put everything on the same file. And again, the assessment 2 is 5-minute video. You're idea pitching, you're selling your idea, you're presenting your idea. So you should appear in the video with your slides. So there are some other programs you can use it, or if you don't have any idea, then you can just do that by Teams. Like you just can set a meeting with you by yourself and then present your slides and record it, and that might be fine, and you can just edit it. I mean, I don't really expect any fancy editing skills, but the voice should be clear, and then the resolution will be clear enough to see it, that I should see your slides and your faces on the video. So it's like how I do it in the lecture. My faces will be appear there, and then my slides will be appear on the video. Requirements: your presentation should outline the following. So the brand problem you're solving, including the relevant insights. The brand problems are already in the brief, so please check the brief. And the media channels to solve it, make sure you explain why the channels have been selected. So that is a requirement for assessment 2, and that's why I said the tutorial exercise is pretty similar to the assessment 2. And next, recommendation for digital and social media strategies with master campaign timeline with 3 phases, which is awareness, engagement, conversion.
As Iona changes, so must I.
Let's say, I think we already talked about this when we talk about the brand funnels. So, awareness, the engagement, and the conversion, that's enough. The 3 phases will be enough. But if you want to work with the loyalty stages, then that's also fine. And please check the lecture week 6 slides for references. I think we already talked about this, and I highlighted on the title. So check the slides, the title as checklist, digital measurement against objective, for references, role of the platform. So the checklist, brand, digital measurement against objective, for reference, role of the platform. So it will give you idea how to how to organize your slides and how you organize the information into it. You can just make a table or graph. So, because you need to present everything in 5 minutes, so things should be clearly and concisely organized, and you don't want to make things mess. So remember, now you are working on our client Kiehl's. So you might want you worked on for the competitor of your client for assessment 1, but for the assessment 2 and 3, we are working on our client Kiehl's. And these are the suggested outline: the background info, market overview, the brand position of the Kiehl's, and brand problem you're solving. If you are going to present your media plan, then you need to present what kind of problems you want to solve through this campaign. So you need to introduce your client, where they are, uh, what's really going on in the market, and the position of your client compared to other competitors in the market, and then clearly present the brand problem you're solving and the objectives you want to achieve through this campaign. I mean, you're doing the campaign to solve the certain issues and achieve the objectives. So you need to make sure that you clearly mention that. The objectives are also already on the brief. So all your media plans should be based on the problem you want to solve it and objectives you want to achieve it.
I will
Target
forge it.
audiences, you need to talk about their online, digital, social media behavior, usage, pattern, activities, references, not reference, preferences, etc. This assessment is about digital and social media. So we will specifically focus on digital and social media. So you need to know about their online, digital, and social media behavior, usage, pattern, activities, preferences, etc. And as I said on week 1, target audiences information discussed in the brief is not enough. So you should do more research about your target audiences. The brief have some brief information about their age ranges and some other information. But you need to define all the information about demographic, geographic, psychographic, their behavior and benefit-seeking variables, as we discussed.
Demacia must lead
And
by
make sure to
example.
conduct research and gather data specific to Vietnam, not the US, and global data about your target audiences and not about your brand. We are working with the Kills Vietnam, and our target audiences are some people in the Vietnam. For instance, data about the Gen X in Vietnam, that's what you need to do. You cannot gather the data about the Gen X in US or use the worldwide data. I mean, I keep emphasize this one for the assessment 1 because as you can read it on the rubric, if you bring any information about your target audiences or the brands not about in the Vietnam market, then you will get the NN for the criteria. But I started to working on the marking and find that there are some people gather information about the Gen Z in all over the world or Gen Z in US, which is nothing doing anything with the Gen Z in Vietnam. Then that people will get the NN for each criteria. So for assessment 2, you also need to make sure that you get all the information about the Vietnamese market, skincare market, then the target audiences in the whatever the target audiences in the Vietnam. Not you cannot bring the US data and then said, oh, these are the information about our target audiences, or say these are the information about our brand, etc. We are working on the Vietnam market specifically, so you cannot talk about some other like people in US or people in like all over the world or bring the worldwide data. You should specifically focus on how people, let's say in the example here, how the Gen X in Vietnam are doing, who they are, their psychographic behavior, demographic, geographic variables, not about the Gen X in US or Gen X in other countries, etc. So you need to keep in mind and make sure that you are doing the research about and then gathering the correct data.
As Ionia changes, so must I.
So your target audience is the group you are addressing through the campaign, and you are not targeting people in other countries. So your client is Kills Vietnam, and this campaign will be launched in Vietnam, not in other countries. So please make sure that you don't really lose any points just because you bring the data about the United States or any other countries. And identify is continue from the previous slides. identify the target audiences, digital and social touchpoint across consumer journey, like as I said, awareness, engagement, consideration, and conversion stages for the retinal product. You might want to know that how their consumer journey starts and ends when they are purchasing retinal product. And suggest digital and social strategies based on the research you've done above, which means about their consumer journey, about who your target audiences are, and about how your brands are doing it. And then suggest digital and social strategies to solve these brand problems, and categorize them into earned, owned, and paid media for each stage. And recommend specific tactics and types of formats to use it, like YouTube bumper ad, YouTube Facebook lead ad, SEO, but you don't say like YouTube or social. Just say social. I will work on social media, or I will work on the Facebook ad, etc. That's not really specific enough. So if you choose specific platforms or the channels, then make sure that which tactics you want to use it for the chosen platforms. And of course, key metrics, cost metrics, you need to mention that we've been talked about this for a few last week, and I think for like 2 or 3 weeks. So you can find and discuss about the metrics, cost metrics, and budget. You don't really need to put all the and calculate the numbers. You don't really need to do the math, but you can just put the pie chart and then just show the ratio in percent, like how many percent will be assigned to the YouTube bumper ad, and how many percent of your budget will be assigned to social search engine marketing, etc. And we'll have the limited budget, and it's also clearly stated on our brief. So please check and read the brief over and over again. Again, all the basic informations are already stated in the brief, so make sure that you read it. And remember that information should be presented in a clear and concise way. As I said, you will need to finish everything in 5 minutes. So, and think about the key information and idea you want to deliver to your client within a limited time. And speak and explain at a good pace. Please do not edit your video to make it sound fast forwarded, because we have the limited time, and there's some people edit the video so you can just finish the video in 5 minutes. I mean, if you make it sound like fast forwarded, then your client will not understand what you're talking about because it's too fast. So make sure that you speak and explain at a good pace, and do not edit your video and make it sound like fast forwarded. It might be 10 to 12 slides might be enough. And then please don't put all the details in slides and say you can read the slide later. I mean, that's not how you're going to do the idea pitching. You need to effectively and efficiently deliver all the ideas, rather than say, oh, I put everything on the slides so you can just read it later or something. Okay? So, and then again, make sure to read the instructions, requirements, and all the details in Canvas, and please read the rubric. I found some people didn't really miss important information that is clearly stated in the rubric. Like I said, you should do the research about target audiences in the Vietnam and gather the Vietnam data. But I found that some people get some US data or worldwide data, or some information that didn't clearly mention where they get the data or information, etc. So use the credible data. Make sure that you gather all the VN market sources and the data. And as I said, no direct link. You need to upload the file that contains your cover page, the statement about whether you give the permission to RMIT to use your work or not, and the YouTube URL and the references. And please, I think I put that somewhere else. If not, then I need to click that. Please, yeah, I think I need to put that. Please submit your slides if possible. It could be PDF or it could be PPT file, or that's fine, but do not send me the Google link. I mean, we are not working with the Google link anymore. It's like the announcement from the school. So if you want to share any link, it could be from the OneDrive or the external files, but not the Google Drive. We're not going to accept or review the link from the Google. So if you want to share the slides, then you need to work on the OneDrive with your RMIT account, or it could be Canva or any other external links, but no Google Drive anymore. And I will put all the tools and websites that you can use it for your assessment 2 and 3, which will be about online and social network analytical tools, source for the secondary research, sources for secondary researches for the consumer research, and the industrial report if you want to use it. Do you have any questions about the assessment 2? Or about any questions about today's lecture or tutorial? Okay, if nothing, then that's it for today. And if you have any questions, please feel free to post your questions on our Teams Assessment 2 channel, or you can email me, then we can discuss about your concerns or questions. And I will send out email about the tutorial exercises right after these classes, and then I will post these guidelines and expectations on our Teams channel sometime today or tomorrow. I just want to make sure that I put everything I want to say that. And again, these guidelines and expectations are not the full information about your assessment 2. So you need to make sure that you read all the instructions, requirements, and everything on Canvas, and that's your responsibility. Okay. Thank you so much for today. And again, if you have any questions about the lecture, tutorial exercise, or assessment, please email me.
Chuyển sang kênh on live cho mình
Again,
nhé.
thank you so much,
Kênh on live hiện tại
and
thì
I will
sẽ
see you all
có
next
lượng
week,
dòng về
and have a
streamer.
good rest of your
Nên
day.
là rất là
Bye
mong anh em
bye.
chuyển sang on live giúp mình. Những câu hỏi của anh em mà trên on live thì mình sẽ trả lời hết. Trả lời không thiếu gì luôn. Ok. Ngày hôm nay thì tôi có đi du học về và tôi thấy là sơ đồ 4123 sẽ được sử dụng nhiều nhất. Bên Hàn Quốc thì hôm nay tôi cũng sẽ trải nghiệm với sơ đồ 4123 đó bằng các cầu thủ của tôi. Đây là các cầu thủ của tôi. Tới có tiền đội hình mới. Bán Kevin thì phải được giá tí. Con 800 tỏi. Con sự kiện tôi mở 800 tỏi anh em ạ. Chắc là phải bằng rô béo bậc 1. Team Liverpool. Ngon không anh? Liverpool là cái team thời điểm hiện tại tôi nghĩ là được update rất là nhiều, khi mà sắp tới Tô Cóng thì được lên 2 chân. Ngoài ra thì team Liverpool đây, tôi sẽ search luôn cho bạn vì bạn là người đầu tiên comment ở trên livestream. Liverpool đúng không? FC Liverpool hay là Liverpool này? Đây, Liverpool FC đây. Thì hiện tại đã có thêm một tiền đạo 2 chân. Ok, đầu tiên thì sẽ về chiến thuật thì chúng ta sẽ đá 4-1-2-3 nhá. 4-1-2-3 đúng với meta Hàn Quốc thời điểm hiện tại. Ngoài ra thì tôi để một số chiến thuật đội gồm có áp lực ngay khi mất bóng, chơi hand pressing này. Ok, đầu tiên thì sẽ
Hello, xin chào. Cái plugin, một cái plugin đó là multi thì các bạn output plugin download, thấy không? Đây, download nó về thôi, ta nữa các bạn. Thì các bạn download nó về thôi. Download nó về. Bốc các bạn. Cái đường link này sẽ rồi các bạn vô đây thì nó ôm lại nha. Rồi mình vô cái đường link của mình đúng không? Rồi các bạn go to thì nó có cái đây là cái này book nè, delete nè, có book cái thì các bạn các sự kiện ở đây luôn đặt ở đây đúng không? Rồi bạn phải MPS thì bạn stream key ở đây lên luôn, hoặc là bạn livestream Facebook trước. Thì nếu đây Facebook thì cái này là thì các bạn nhớ như thế nào cũng lên luôn nè. Đầu tiên là mình nhớ nha, mình nhớ cái mã sự kiện của mình nha, mã sự kiện. Rồi ở đây
Về chiến thuật thì chúng ta sẽ đá 4-1-2-3 nhé. Về chiến thuật thì chúng ta sẽ đá 4-1-2-3 nhé.